Buttons hit D-Batch.
Hit it a button.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, Zalker's not here to do his version. This sounds like the rat from Ninja Turtles. But we're here. And obviously, maybe Zalker will show up. I don't know. I texted him. But thanks for joining us, guys. I said it earlier, but yeah, we're going to be a little late today because of just everything that's probably happening or not happening. And, of course, we are late. So, Dead Space footage. Played a little bit of this earlier, almost died. If you haven't played this game, or at least a new iteration, is something to be excited for if you're a fan of the original. Just want to say that first and foremost. Secondly, again, thanks for joining us. Hit the like button, tell the buddies about the show. If you haven't, maybe retweet this thing, helps out a little bit. And, of course, let us know your thoughts as we do move through the topics. Because, boy, do we have some topics today. We got a great set of topics as well as a great panel. We're going to start with some introductions. We'll do some shout-outs. Starting with D-Batch, the imposter that hacked D-Batch last week. Man, welcome back. I'm so glad you got your channel back and everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. Good to be back. I got to say, man, the last week was extremely stressful, man, because a lot of my stuff was tied into that account, with my email and my YouTube. And apparently somebody from Russia got a hold of my account, and I don't even know how they got a hold of my account because I have two-form authenticator on. Like I get the prompts on my phone, and somehow it bypassed it, and they were able to do a security key. It was just an absolute nightmare, man. Thankfully I got everything back, and I got to give a shout out to the YouTube team. They were extremely helpful in calming my ass down for one, and and restoring all of my stuff and setting me through the procedures, right? So it was quite evident that my account was stolen because, of course, I got all the information to provide them with.
Yeah,
but it really sucked, man.
And for those that don't know, again, the guy locked you out of your account, your YouTube channel, changed the name of it after deleting all of your videos, years and years and years worth of work, and then changed the name to Tesla Talks and started a fundraiser. So if you unsubscribed or were subscribed to Tesla Talks and you unsubscribed, you didn't know what it was, that was D-Batch. Please, everybody here, go subscribe to D-Batch, and you can find him easy. Just type it in on YouTube right now and go subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to D-Batch and check out his stuff, man. You got all your videos back?
Yeah, I got all my videos back. I was able to restore them. I can't lie though, man. Watching that in real time and not being able to do crap on my channel. And
you were in the chat bitching at him.
Okay, who's this? And it's like he turns me off, and then I just see my subscriber count sliding down. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it was just insane.
Were you in the chat during the fundraiser he was having, bitching at him like, what?
You know what? I didn't even want to go into the chat to trigger him to do more shit to my account, but some of the guys that I know actually went in the chat, and I saw a couple of them tagging, "Hey, this is not D." Bam! I see comment redacted. I see comment banned. And like, yeah, it was insane. Like these guys, like I looked into that, not to go all off on it, but these guys, what they do is they put up this Tesla stream, they put a barcode on there, and they promise that they make it look official, like it's because it was a real stream, but they rebroadcast it, right?
Wow.
And they say, yeah, donate your cryptocurrency here. We're going to give you double back right away. And they're showing Elon Musk, and he's talking in the background. It looks official. And you got a lot of suckers out there. And unfortunately, they donate their money, and these guys scoot off with hundreds of thousands and millions.
It's
and
crazy.
It's just it's awful, man.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Sorry.
Maybe my audio's high.
All right, about the 49ers.
Sorry,
fuck
about
me.
49ers.
What a shitty game.
No,
Is Zalker really loud to everyone, or is it just my audio?
Yeah, it's loud. Sounds like he's on his cell phone or something.
Well, his audio's clear. He just was coming through really, really loud. I'm just trying to see if it's me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like his normal mic.
I
sounds like
literally
he's
just
trying to.
finished
It
work.
sounds like he's screaming for a challenge.
Ah, shit.
I'll fucking kill you, Tim.
In that order. But hey, we're gonna go ahead and move forward in the intros here. D, glad everything got sorted, man. Fonz,
Yeah, man.
welcome back, and this is D-Batch. I don't know if you've known him or know him.
Yeah, I kind of miss Tesla Talks. It was a cool channel, bro. It was good for a day. No, dude, I unsubbed from you because I was like, what is this Tesla Talks? I never subscribed to this shit, so I unsubbed. And then like we found out it was you, and then a few days later when you finally got it back, I looked you up and I resubscribed, and everything's good in the world now. We got D-Batch back, and I'm happy for you, man. But no, it's good to be here on RDX. It's Tuesday, baby. We got a lot to talk about. A great freaking start to 2023 for Xbox right now. We got a lot of good things to talk about, and I can't wait to get into it. So let's go.
For sure. We've also got Hardgeek. Thanks for jumping in here again, brother.
Sure, yeah, great to be here again, and D, that's great that your channel is back. That was kind of weird, but yeah,
Yeah.
good thing you got it back, man. Yeah, we definitely have some topics, and yeah, that showcase was pretty good. We got some nice little fun games coming. Good stuff.
Little tidbits of information. Jim Dog, another week, another RDX.
Yeah, happy to be here. I was a little afraid for D. I thought Ryan McCaffrey hacked his account, so I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" But no, it's great to have the panel. We have a stocked, and loaded show. So stick in, give likes, appreciate all the love, and let's go.
Okay, and then we've also got Zalker. How you been, buddy? What happened? What happened?
Sorry, I'm literally even working from home, and I just finished everything. Just finished my last meeting, so it was just kind of a very hectic day. But I'm glad to be here. We have a lot of topics, which I'm looking through right now, because fuck me. Yeah, so thanks for having me, man. And chat, sorry I was late. Let's get this going, though.
It didn't happen.
Hey, we've also got a super chat here from Space 23, Brooklyn, New York. $20 super chat. He says, Callisto Protocol graphically looks better than Dead Space, but Dead Space is the better game. That's interesting because, again, this is a question I had posed. Which one will look better? Callisto is a cross-gen game, and Dead Space is not. And I think they kind of look pretty similar in a lot of ways. I mean, maybe Callisto does take it, but yeah, again, that's why I say graphics and next-gen and all this stuff, this is not the same as it used to be. Everything's kind of scaling from the same machine language, and ultimately it comes down to your time and how much you're putting into the game. But thanks for the comment there. Ashtray, by the way, he has one. He says, what does delays in RDX have in common? Better late than never. Appreciate you, brother. Donnie, he's going to hand out, Zach, go and grab this one. Hang on, I just got another message here. I'm going to try to read this because this might have something to do we can add to the show.
Yeah,
if this is
the ones
true.
I have are Phase 23 Brooklyn.
Would you read
Donnie,
those?
gonna head out, but want to show love and catch the show on demand later. Hi-Fi Rush is a fun game, enjoying it so far.
Okay.
That's the one I see.
I'm just...
Donnie's
Yeah,
got
that's-
one. 23 months. He says, gonna head out, but want to show love and catch the show
I
on
just
demand
said that.
later. Okay.
I literally just said
Okay.
that.
Okay.
That was the only one?
I'm just
Yeah,
replying
the
I
to
only
thought
one
you
I
read the
see.
Phase 2K. No?
There was a couple. I got the first two. Someone messaged me, and I need to make sure. I need to see if this is real or not.
Gotcha.
It could be a topic we could cover right now, but I'm waiting on a reply from them. So, again, if you're here to
Well,
watch
we
us
wanna
live,
hear
sorry,
about
we're late. We're pretty late. Appreciate it. We got a topic of the day / thing that was interesting of the day, and that would be IGN. We can start with this. They're saying that PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, none of them are going to be a part of E3 this year. Why would they say such a thing, Tim Dog? Tim Dog doesn't know.
What was the question? I'm sorry. Somebody called me.
I swear to God.
Listen, I took a phone call.
Okay.
What's the question?
IGN, they're saying that PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, none of them are going to be a part of E3 this year.
Yeah, it's probably true, but I don't think that it's gonna be the case where E3 is not there. I think they're gonna do their show. I just don't think they're gonna be affiliated. So that week, I mean, I'm signed up to be there that week. I have a Airbnb set up, so I'm not worried. I just think it's just they're not gonna be affiliated. So they're gonna have their show Sunday or Monday, but they're not gonna be tied into it.
Why aren't they affiliating with E3 no more?
I don't know. Let's wait for it to be official before anything. I know Phil's on the ESA, but let me take this. It's an important phone call.
Okay. Yep. Anyway,
I would
go
say,
ahead.
let me jump into that because a lot of people have been talking about this. Like Sony hasn't been a part of E3 for fucking years, so it doesn't really matter.
That is true. That is true.
Like they haven't been there for like what 4 years now.
Mhm.
So that it was a no brainer. Xbox not being a part of it, they're just doing it in their theater. The big one to me is Nintendo, because Nintendo I think did come out and say that they don't have any games, kind of like because they're gonna have in May they're gonna have Zelda come out. That they don't have any games that they want to talk about yet. Basically,
got no games.
They ain't got any games that are ready to come out. And so, what's the point of being there and show something that's not ready? So they're just not going to show up. And we've seen before, like I think EA has skipped out on it. A couple other ones, like I mean, at this point, like I put a joke out there on a tweet. I said it's Sega's time, Genesis 2, bitch. Like I mean, there's nothing there. Like the E3 has kind of fallen at the wayside, especially when you look at like Nintendo Directs. You look at all this other stuff that's been out there. There's a lot better ways to kind of show off and get advertisement instead of just E3. And then
it costs like tens of millions of dollars to throw these.
It does,
right?
Yeah, and then you look at what Jeff Keighley has done. Like the Summer Awards has had, or the Summer Game Show, whatever, has had a lot of big third-party reveals there, and then the Game Award show has other big third-party reveals there. I just think it's competition-based, and I think E3 wasn't ready to compete.
Bushido, fuck you. He says his podcast definitely isn't AAA. Member for 32 months. Appreciate you, brother. Hey, at the end of the day, I guess it isn't really a surprise, right? Like you said, when Sony decided not to do it, E3 just kind of felt hollow in a way to a lot of people that were there. Now that Xbox has got their own theater literally right across the street, which Jeff Keighley happens to use for his Game Awards and some other crap sometimes. Who knows what else? I guess it's not really a surprise, but Nintendo not having any games. Hargy, is this true? They don't have anything to show?
They have like Pikmin, I think that was supposed to be coming. Maybe it's just not ready. And like you have to have enough things to actually put together. Now, usually when they like the last few times they've shown up, they don't actually do like a full show. They have like a created video that they show at that at a certain time, and then they just have like the games available on the floor. I guess they don't want to put anything out. It's kind of interesting. Zelda's coming out, but maybe they figure it doesn't matter. Zelda will sell itself. And maybe they don't really have any third-party thing they want to like bring there, or some other game that they want to.
Or maybe Zelda's running from E3, Hargy. How about that? Huh? Let's turn the tables.
Well, Zelda's coming out before E3, right?
No,
it's coming in May.
It's that's why they wouldn't really need to be there if they're launching a game right before then, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess they just really don't have anything. And Sony, they've been skipping for a while now, so they'll probably have some showcase in like whatever, like September or whatever it is, right? So that's just kind of the way it is. The interesting part with Xbox though is I guess they've been doing their showcase separately the last few years, anyways, right? But they did actually put stuff on the floor, and I guess they're just not going to bother. That's an interesting change. Maybe they're expecting other people to take over the floor and they don't want to put their stuff there. It's kind of weird.
Well, that's what Nintendo said, is that they don't have enough stuff to basically justify getting that floor space. Like, what's the point? Like, of spending that much money on it if we don't have anything cool to show? And that's what the floor space is for, right? It's not just to show this stuff, but people get to fucking play it.
Exactly.
That's the point. Like, if they don't have anything ready to be played, then why even be there? So, and like I said, I think it's competition based too, man.
Yeah. Bonds, is it really that? Is it? Could it be that rent's too damn high, or is it that they just are really looking for a way out of the E3 thing and it's a slow transition?
I think it may be a combination of both. I think maybe, the rent is too damn high there. It's expensive to do, and if you don't have a lot of games to show or have enough to show, that is, there's no reason to pay that kind of money to be there. I guess that's the way they're looking at it. That's the way Sony had looked at it. That's the way freaking Microsoft basically said, we're going to do it in our own theater, damn it. But yeah,
that was
Nintendo
part
probably
of the problem.
Nintendo probably doesn't have much to go on, put on. So I get it.
Listen, I'm sorry I had to take an important phone call, but my personal opinion is just instead of getting all upset about this, let the news come out and let's see what's going on. Like I said, I'm already booked for an Airbnb, phone, a plane ticket, ready to go, and I have no I don't think that anything's gonna happen differently. I just think it's gonna be like when we went prior E3s, when we went to Xbox Fan Fest, it was always tied into E3. Even 2019, which was 18 or whatever the last one was tied into E3, meaning that you would go to E3, you would get tickets, you would be a part of the show. So what I'm thinking is that they're just gonna they could have a show at night, they could have a show at 3:00, but they're not gonna be associated with E3. If you look at Jeff Keighley's tweets, and he knows because he's a part of this, he says Xbox will be doing a showcase that week, and so and so. It's just unfortunate for E3. What we once had was a great freaking thing, but bullshit took it down, and now it's to the point where it's it's being forgotten about, and this is the final straw. So you're still gonna get a show, you're still gonna get a showcase. That's not going away for Microsoft. Sony is going to do their own thing, but it's all going to stay the same as far as that goes for Xbox. And I do believe it's going to be the same week. I just think E3 is going to be more developer conscious, because at one point E3 and a lot of developers were complaining. One of the times when we were going, they were saying it used to be like, at first it was very developer, pro developer. There's very little people outside of developers that went there, and then it was getting to the point where even developers couldn't get to their booths. They couldn't. They were part of the lines, and they were very frustrated. So I think now it's going to be more of a thing where they have that back, and it's still going to be there, but it's going to be definitely not what it was.
I can't imagine an E3 with just like EA, Crystal Dynamics, and Ubisoft. Like, yay!
Well, that's the funny thing is that EA actually skipped it before too.
Yeah.
So like, are they going to do that? Because
Crystal Dynamics and Ubisoft, yay!
Yeah. So it's starting to thin out, and that's kind of the point. Like, as for Nintendo, because I personally thought Nintendo was going to talk about some form of new hardware, because they're going on 6 years of this hardware that was already outdated. And so they need to start maybe showing that a little bit. Maybe they have their own plans for it. But apparently there was rumors too, like all these rumors are circulating that Zelda's kind of their last game that they're going to make for this piece of hardware, right? Solely focused on it. So I don't know. Like, I thought they would be there at E3 to show it off, but maybe they have other plans. I mean, the E3 has fallen very far from what it used to be, and it's just what it is now.
It just sucks to see it happening.
It does.
Publishers not showing up now. Xbox and obviously got their own thing going on. Sony and now Nintendo. As far as the Switch, I mean, that hardware, I think when it came out, Tegra, and when it comes to handhelds, it was pretty decent for a handheld. But now you've got a lot better technology at your disposal, and they've got to think this through very, very intelligently, because I think they hit lightning in a bottle twice here with the Wii. The Wii U was like, okay, this is not good. And then the Switch, right, where they're basically competing with themselves. And now they just need to make a better version of the Switch. Like, they can't change it up like they've done every single generation, I don't think, this time.
Yeah.
Especially with the Steam Deck out there doing 60 frames and looking insane. I'm telling you, multiple people I know that were had Switches as their main thing have gone Steam Deck a lot.
My son is one of them.
Those
My
traders.
son is one of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. And it's not even just older people; it's younger people that are doing it. Like, the Steam Deck has sold a lot of units, like over 1 million or 2 million, which is kind of insane considering they were back ordered for 5 months.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess we'll see. I guess we should, because when you brought up the new hardware from Nintendo, it is getting to be about that time. 2017 is when the Switch launched, I think. And
It's been that time since the Switch dropped.
This is the problem with Nintendo, though, because they have that deal with Nvidia in place. I hope they come up with better hardware, but Nvidia hardware is expensive, so
it is.
It's the cost has to play into that, right?
What kind of deal is this for? How long? And for what?
I don't know the particulars on the deal, but they're obviously in some type of deal with Nvidia, because they supplied both of their hardwares, right? So it's hard to say if they're going to switch over to AMD, because I don't know the particulars behind the scenes, but that would be the smarter choice for them to switch over to AMD, for them to get something that's more affordable and that's more powerful, because the Tegra at the time, it was okay, but now it's lagging. AMD's little APUs are destroying this, right? And I'm sure it costs less.
Yeah.
So Nintendo, for them to be relevant in this space and for them to gain market share, all they need to do is improve the hardware, because that's the only knock that they ever get, is that their hardware sucks and their graphic fidelity in their games aren't great, but their games play well. So if they could just overcome that, I think
that's
Steam,
even hurting now. The performance of their games isn't very hot anymore.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to talk about Nintendo. I'm dying.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm slowly dying fastly.
Me too.
Outside of that, their performance and all that shit don't matter. That's not they sold 130 million units even with this performance shit. That doesn't matter. They just get a little upgrade. That's what they're going to do probably. And
you know what?
But that screen better have FreeSync on it, which I'm sure it will, because the frames all over the place.
Trust me. Nintendo fans do want better, though. They do.
I disagree with you, Zucker. The status quo, it's just not cutting it. Yeah, they'll maintain market share, but in any type of business, you want to get more. I don't understand why everyone's getting so upset. First of all, Nintendo is relevant whether we play it or we like it or not. They're relevant. They're
They're
selling
not
a lot of
upset.
consoles.
They just they're
So
right. You know, the
it's-
show's got to move forward because
It's
Yeah.
worth talking about. We don't
That's
ever
the
talk
next
about
one.
Nintendo.
you're
on
right,
here.
and
We
that's
gotta
by
switch it up a
design.
bit.
Fuck, I think that's a good
Oh,
thing.
man.
Listen,
Anyways, Nintendo just needs to come up with better hardware.
they do.
That's it. That's
You're
all
right,
they
D.
need to do.
You're,
They
and I
do.
think they
They
need to
do.
come up with a
You're right.
better version of what they already have. Like this will be the first time that they're basically mimicking the system they've already got, because every generation, besides from the NES to the Super NES, which was pretty same design, right? You couldn't really do a whole lot back then. They've kind of had a radical shift every single generation in the controllers and the way that everything functions, the format. I think they're just going to come out with a better version of the same thing they already have for basically like the first time in the modern era, which is the smartest thing in my opinion. But let us know if you think they're going to have a crazy redesign and come up with some other thing, the Nintendo bitch or something else that's different than the Switch in every way. Hey, we're going to talk about the Xbox Developer Direct recap real quick.
Finally.
We can do that. And then we got some other topics behind that, guys. Big shout out to you guys. We started over 10 minutes late. We do appreciate you guys getting closer to 1,000 people already watching. Hit that like button. Tell a buddy too. We're live. We do have a lot of cool things to cover. So if you missed the Developer Direct, there were some things there, including Minecraft Legends, which does have a co-op PvP. It comes out April 18th. They got Forza Motorsport, which we can go over all the details here in a bit. Lots there to unfold. And we got Hi-Fi Rush, which stealth dropped. Not only did it come out to, what is it, an 88 meta right now, which again,
89.
89
now.
So decide if you like meta or not, guys. I mean, shit. When we got a good meta, that's good for everybody. But that's despite some ridiculous reviews that literally penalized it for being an Xbox-only type game, and it's getting review bombed by people as well on the user side. It's not super interesting. 0 out of 10. It's like, what the fuck, man? So they don't know how to review stuff. Then you got a bunch of Redfall stuff that came out there as well. It was a pretty short and focused show that also had some things like ESO and something else I probably forgot there. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. How long was it?
It was like 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
I thought that the Hi-Fi Rush was like a wicked surprise. I thought it really, it excited all the fans out there, and then to see all the detractors said, "Oh," and all the things that they say. Like, how could you say that? Like, we were talking earlier before the show. If this was Sony and they announced a game that was not previously known and they dropped it the same day, people would be losing their minds. But
Especially if it
because
was
it's
almost a
Xbox,
90 D-batch. Like, especially if it was almost a 90 meta.
like, come on. And despite it being review bombed, it's still 89. And even on the critic side, like from gamers, it's 91, despite it being review bombs. So that should tell you that it's a good game. And I played the game. It is a good game. It's refreshing. And it was out of nowhere. How could you not like that? And how can you not see the value once again of Game Pass? Like, I'm just disgusted. These guys, they'll never be satisfied. So I just block the noise of these guys and just enjoy the games on the service. Like, it was a good show.
I'm shocked that it's actually an 89. I'll be honest. Like, when I saw it, I'm like, here we go. We got another Scream ride or something like that, dropping randomly, right?
No,
I know it's a
I
different
gotta- I
genre,
gotta
different type of
say,
game.
it
I'm
was-
just saying, like, it's actually really held up to a lot of the criticism, and people were ready and they were already just ready to rip this in half when it dropped. And they played it and they're like, oh,
Agreed.
pretty good.
I gotta say that the idiots that wanted to rip it apart are the idiots I have blocked, so I haven't seen them. So I think a lot of the positive reaction of people were like, yo, that looks kind of different and kind of cool. That's what I saw mostly. And then when I played it, which I think I have about 4 or 5 hours into it, it's really damn good. It's a very well-made game. There's no bugs that I've ran into. I've played it on the Xbox and the PC, and it's Steam Deck verified. It has overwhelmingly great reviews on Steam also, which is pretty hard to get. It's a freaking really well-made game, and to me, it is a little bit of a stroke of. Okay, so like, remember when Phil Spencer brought up like the cancel stuff and everybody like being negative in gaming? I think this is one of those things that ties into that, because when you look at them dropping this, the developer, the lead head at Tango Gameworks, was like, "Hey, like, we're not making a horror game. Are we going to be okay?" Like, he kind of mocked it. And so them bringing this out as a shadow drop was like, let's just get this game going, because then we basically like mitigate negative reviews or negative people talking shit for 6 months before the game even comes out. And not to mention people that are horror fans, right?
That's a
Like,
good
they're
point.
like, well, why would you do this? And it's
Right.
like, no, they wanted to do something different. And it's a different, by the way, it's a different person making it, not the head guy. So not the A team. And they put it out there. It's a 10 to 12 hour game, and it's extremely affordable at $29.99. Like, I am extremely impressed with this to the point where I was always saying, like, I want Starfield before June. I want all the games you promised before June. Well, they gave us more games before June than I thought, which is Hi-Fi Rush, then a bunch that are coming in the next few months. So it's built a lot of goodwill towards hardcore fans, and I just think it was really well done. Like, they didn't have any negative. They were like, fuck it. Do it, play it by yourself, basically. Like, here's the whole game, play it, judge it, and it's reviewed well. Even on Metacritic, how people are review bombing it, it still has a 9.1 user score.
Which is crazy.
On Metacritic. And on PC, it has a 90 Metacritic and like a higher, like a 9.3 or something user score. So it's reviewing well across the board, man.
You know what has a 9 million Metacritic score? Age of Empires Definitive Edition 2, which I played earlier, and it's pretty... Look, whenever I talked about, hey, you could easily port this to controller, you only need one button to play this bitch. That's all true. But when they took the time to build and optimize Age 2 for Xbox, they really did do a lot of extra things or a lot of things to make this. Like when I was sitting here starting the game, I was playing through it, and just all the little hotkeys that they threw in on the controller and how they're just very, very intelligent. I'm not used to that. It's probably one of the better laid out mappings for console RTS. And Zachary, if you haven't tried it, you should try it on Xbox and let me know your thoughts as well, because I think it's really, really well done so far.
Yeah, I gotta do that with Age of Empires, especially. But I've been honestly playing Hi-Fi Rush and High on Life like pretty much exclusively right now, with like obviously Fortnite and stuff. But Hi-Fi Rush has been a lot of fun, and I've played it on the Steam Deck, and it runs fucking beautiful. So I've played it on all platforms, and it's just great. Like, it's just programmed well, man. Like, everything they've put out has been pretty decent, especially if you're saying now with the Age of Empires stuff. If they went a little bit further than just like, here's a port, I'm excited for that too. Yeah,
it's even got, which is weird, it's got graphics options in there. I know it's an old game, blah, 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 but they threw, if you wanted to mess around with it and turn on low settings and look at it, you could, right? Or just put it on ultra. Like, they got all the different effects and sliders and toggles for you if you just want to fuck around with that stuff. But you know what else was programmed well? Or at least it looks it. Forza Motorsport, the most realistic racing game ever made, according to Turn 10. The campaign is focused around car building. I don't know exactly what that means. I did cover that in my video yesterday. Career, by the way, there are 500 cars in the game from launch, which is more than I thought they would have, because last time they rebuilt from the ground up for new hardware, they went from 700 to 280 or 250 with Forza 5.
274 or something.
Yeah, so they got over 500 now, and they've also started with 20 tracks, which is as many as they had in by the end of Motorsport 5, I think, or maybe it was Forza 4. I'm trying to remember, but that's more tracks than I expected as well, and they're going to add more over time. The physics in the game they've taken such a leap that it's more than the last several Forzas combined, is what they were saying. There is 10 times the detail on the tracks and on-side, track-side stuff. What?
Did Todd say it? No. Okay.
No, he didn't pop out and say that one. So I actually believe it.
They should have got him to go 10 times the detail.
Yep, just popped him up on the screen. 4K 60 with ray tracing. The game looks amazing. They didn't give us a date, though, Fonz. It's the end of the world.
No, yeah, I know. A lot of people are upset about that. I get it. People want this game ASAP. There's a lot of folks like you out there that love Forza and love motorsport in particular, and I get it. It's a sim racer. It looks incredible. Traditionally they play incredibly well. So, a lot of people want this game now, and unfortunately, they didn't drop a date. And look, I don't know. Maybe this game doesn't come out till the fall. Who knows? Maybe holiday even. We don't know. But it's looking fantastic, though. What they've done to the cars and the paint specifically, I forgot what they called it, what they're doing there. But they're able to get so much detail out of the paint. You can actually see the orange peel in it. You can see the paint flakes. And, dude, it looks freaking badass. I think it looks really good. It looks very realistic. And normally with Forza, you get a lot of bright colors and stuff. It's the most, I think, bright and colorful racer out there when it comes to sim racers. And a lot of people kind of knock it for that too. But I think this one, though, with the addition of doing things, tweaking the paint and everything to the cars, it makes it even look more realistic. Even when it's showing the cars in the distance, that third person, you're outside of the, the cab. You see everything, and you see the paint and everything. You could see the reflections, the ray tracing going on. And I know this is being shown on a computer. Okay, a PC is running this, and a lot of fanboy talking points out there. A lot of people are saying, yeah, it's on a PC, it's running on a PC. But how many times have they said, yes, this is running on a PC, but this is very indicative of what you're going to get on a Xbox? And you do. They always deliver. So I'm not worried about Turn 10 not delivering on the goods. It's going to look that great on the Series X.
Motorsport 7 ran at
amazing.
It ran at 4K 60 on the Series X, or the 1X, right? At max settings from the PC version. And people didn't believe that until they actually did the analysis and found out it's even got a better AA solution than the PC did at the time. So they get a lot out of the hardware. That's something Turn 10 people say Coalition. I've always said Turn 10 have gotten the most out of the hardware because they've always run every Forza, pretty much in every generation, at the top resolution of the time at 60 FPS.
But a lot of people...
4K
a lot of people downplay racers. They always say, but it's a racing game. But it's
on
a
a
racing
grid.
game.
It's
on a grid, but the Gran Turismo is running in fractions, this and that, all this shit. Who gives a shit? Like, it still looks amazing. They're pushing all this technology all at once, and they're pushing the hardware just as hard, if not harder than anyone else.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and they added like photogrammetry and all that stuff, so it's very detailed. I think the only difference that we're gonna see on the Series X is the ray tracing resolution is going to be pared back.
Yeah,
I think some of the ray tracing resolution is going to be pared back, and maybe certain surfaces won't have some of the ray tracing.
Which rocks won't have it, D-Batch? Tell us.
I don't know, but I think that's the only compromise. But yeah, you guys are right. It's going to look extremely similar on the Series X to what we saw last week at the developer showcase. So,
and even Series S, right, at a lower resolution, it'll be like Tim saying, he was hearing that they're going to be pushing RT obviously on track at the same time. Which, if they're going to make that claim, they need to do that because it's the same game, right? They didn't say on track for Series X, right? They didn't say it for Series S. They said in general.
I mean, I heard from very reliable source it was on Series S, and that's really why it's really was super impressive to them, because you have a console that's $300 pushing out an absolute crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think that it could do ray tracing on track, on reflections. But
at
yeah,
60 FPS, right? Or is it 30?
60, yeah, 60,
right?
It's 60. Yeah, 60. And you look at we talked about their pedigree. Not only did they match everything that you saw on those from the trailers to the game, you didn't even get a one frame drop ever. I don't even think they've ever had a frame drop.
Good point.
I mean, so they're a different type of developer. They're amazing, and they're gonna like I was saying before, they are gonna probably put out at the time the most impressive video game for console ever. I mean, it's gonna be the graphics are gonna be. I mean, listen, I watched it on 4K because I wanted to watch Redfall. And because Redfall, I think, really suffers from when you watch the phone and the compression and everything.
It did.
You watch the Forza. I mean, and I just came away. There's certain parts in that trailer where I'm like, holy shit, this is unbelievable. This looks like real life. Like it was, there's a part where I was just like, it looked like real life. So, yeah, they're super talented, and I knew that you were going to be impressed, dealer. And the only downfall, I knew when it said 2023, people were going to go, oh, well, it doesn't have it, and it does stink that they made put themselves in that corner. But it looks like obviously that 6-month, that 12-month thing is going to be thrown out the window.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out after D-Batch. Go ahead, D-Batch.
No, if we're to really think about it, though, the only window for this game, it has to be between September and November. Now, because just not announcing it tells me it's not in the summer, so it tells me it's coming September, November, which is relatively around the time the Forza games come out, anyways. So.
Yeah, chat. Let us know if you think it's going to come out in the first half of the, I guess before. I don't know, August or after, right?
Well,
Let us know.
Jeff Grubb didn't give a date, but he also had a couple new things come up according to his podcast. He said that Undead Labs is working on a new IP alongside State of Decay 3. Starfield could release in June, and Hellblade is slated for this year.
Yeah,
That's what he said on his podcast, and he did not mention Forza. So I would say
But
Forza.
he was the guy that said Forza was going to be delayed. But go on.
Yeah, and I think Forza's getting. I think it's coming out September. That's I would think at this point, because if they don't announce the date now, it's like, okay, well, we'll just wait. And if it's May for thing, I know a lot of people are saying that March is Starfield, but Forza I think is a little farther off.
Yeah.
Well, we will see, and I'm looking forward to it just as much as anybody
crazy.
else. It's Hellblade this year, though, man. That seems a little crazy.
That's
If
that-
it is,
that would be
if it
insane.
is,
that would break the internet, man.
if it is, that's big. That means that they are saving that as some kind of surprise announcement for this upcoming showcase at E3. Well, E3, quote unquote.
Be awesome, right?
But we will see. I want to give a shout out to all the mods in the chat, man. Boss Mod Lead the Papa. We got Dreadpool and so many others in the chat, keeping everything cool. We got almost 1,100 people watching us live, guys. Hit the like button. Tell everybody to we're live. As we do get into some of these chats that we got to catch up on, which Soccer will jump into. But again, appreciate you guys for watching us all these years. Seriously, you guys are awesome.
Yeah. You want me to read some of these now?
Yeah.
We got KY Bob, member for 39 months. Best gaming podcast around. It's set the quality bar that all of us podcasters strive to reach. RDX is a positive inspiration. Rock on, fellas. Go RDX.
Bob, you must
That's
have your TV off. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's too nice, Bob. I don't
He's
like
got the sound off.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate you, bud.
like Colt playing God of War. Andy Hart, member for 13 months. Dead Space remake is how a remake should be done. Awesome remake. Hopefully they remake Dead Space 2.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
My favorite. Dead Space 2 is my favorite.
It's really good. Dead Space 3 is, I love it because of co-op.
Yep.
We got Mr. Bushido N7, member for 32 months. His podcast definitely isn't AAA.
How dare
Shut
you,
up,
sir?
Bushido.
That's what he said earlier. I was laughing. Shout out to
So
Bushido. You piece of shito.
we got Jay Blaze. He says, D, glad you got your channel back. Do a best TVs of 2023 review. Zalker, love you, but F the Niners and baby carrots. Fucking got to bring up the Niners.
What happened to them? Did they get owned and crushed in some way?
They had no quarterback. It was just fucking horrible game all in
They got
general,
killed
man.
real good.
That's
That's
pretty bad.
nice.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it was
Pretty
just
bad.
boring. It was bad.
It hurt.
We got
It hurt.
Face 23 Brooklyn. He says, why was everyone complaining about VRS on Dead Space remake on console and PC? They released a patch to remove VRS from PlayStation 5 and gave a on and off toggle for PC. Will they remove VRS from the series consoles also? Question.
If they're removing VRS, that tells you that something is just fundamentally programmed wrong. Something's wrong with it.
Wait.
So it's supposed to be something there to help you, not fuck your game over.
On PC, the VRS mixed with DLSS, it creates a lot of mush.
You're a little
So
low,
it's-
D-batch.
On PC, VRS mixed with DLSS, it's causing some issues. So that's why they removed it, because if you use it with DLSS, it's really bad. So if you don't use it with DLSS, I don't think it's as bad. But of course, we know on PlayStation, it's software, so it is what it is.
Go ahead, Zara.
Yeah, so we got KY Bob again. All these games, the year of Xbox changed my mind.
Yeah.
We'll change it when they get delayed, bitch.
No.
Oh, we got-
Whoa.
That's
whoa.
rude,
we
man.
got D
That's-
Blaha. He says 3/23/23. That is the date going around that when Starfield's going to drop.
Oh my God.
3/23/23. Where'd that
Yeah,
come
so
from?
March 23rd, 20. I don't know, man. Some placeholder that some site had.
CD keys or something?
It's like
Yeah.
National Donut Day or something. I don't
CD
know.
keys.
Todd
No,
does love
it's
donuts. If you watch the
massive
interviews, you know, I mean, he might do it.
Yeah.
16
It's,
times the donuts.
Yeah, so while that drops in March, we got James Hole. He says Microsoft contractor situation contributed to issues at 343 in regards to bringing devs up to speed on proprietary engine. Could id Tech suffer the same issues?
You know,
I don't know. I guess no. Perhaps. Yeah.
really quick about the marchers out there with this 3/23/23 date.
The marchers.
The thing is you're basically asking for them to almost essentially shadow drop Starfield, which is not going to happen. You know, once they have their deep dive in March, they're not going to say, "Oh, and it's out now, guys." Like, no, they're going to market the hell out of this game before it drops. So, yeah.
What if they did
not
shadow
happening
drop
in
it though, Fonz? Huh?
I would personally love it, but I'm greedy that way. I want to play Starfield so bad, but man, there's so many people that still do not know anything about Starfield out there. There are gamers out there that don't know about Starfield, people.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way it is. That's why they market.
Yeah.
No, it's coming in March, dude. I don't want to hear it. That placeholder.
Hang on, I just got a
you
message.
know-
It's out right now.
Zoka is
Just
a
dropped.
toddler.
Oh, Starfield is?
Yep, it's out.
I've been
Never
playing.
played it.
I've been
Never
playing
enjoyed it.
Never played it. Never enjoyed it. Hey, Redfall.
You're such a fuck.
We know when Redfall's coming out. So think about it this way: why would they stealth drop something like Starfield and not do it to Redfall, which comes out May 2nd, right?
Exactly. Right.
Or maybe they just say, maybe it's maybe Hi-Fi Rush was an experiment to all the conspiracy theorists out there.
Oh,
and they're
you
dropping
go.
everything from now on. Stealth drop.
It worked for Hi-Fi Rush.
Yep.
Let's stealth drop everything. Yeah. No,
Yep.
not happening.
Get rid of the reviews forever. Yeah. Redfall comes out May 2nd. The gameplay looked pretty good, fun at the developers
Yes,
direct.
it did. It did.
It can be played single player too, so if you're not in the mood to fondle.
Definitely going to be playing this through single player first. But I did already state that I am going to jump in and out with you guys in that game because at least I get to keep my weapons and whatever I do with my character in there. So I'll be able to keep certain things. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But the more I see of this game, the more I like it. I'm not huge on this type of art style especially with the characters. I don't think they look so great. Some of the running animations is just like kind of jank, but whatever. Like that's besides the point. It's a first person shooter first. And I'm fine with it. I think that a lot of aspects of this game look very cool. The map of the town and everything, it looks awesome. There's so much there to
That's a
explore
good looking
and
map.
Stuff. No. I'm talking about just when it shows where
the
you're going to
environment.
be able to go to the different environments and stuff. The cemeteries,
Different
the
biomes, you
theaters.
mean?
Yeah.
It's got more than Halo.
Cool.
They got more than Halo.
It's not really biomes. It's the same city.
It's
the
cold in
same
this
map.
area and it's not hot in this one. It's a biome.
It's
okay?
not. It's not though. It's one freaking.
Well, they got
town.
like the
Anyways.
same city, but also like what do you call it? Like I guess like an Elseworlds or like a other dimension to it.
I know that
Okay, so that's
Hargy
a
knows what
dimension.
you're trying to think of
But
right now.
it looks pretty darn good though. It doesn't look bad at all, and especially people were complaining about the way it looked, and once you go to the 4K stream and you look at it, it looks so much better.
It's going to look better than
one
that in person, right?
The one thing I say does not look right, and I agree with a lot of people on this, is the flashlight. When you're using the flashlight,
What?
it doesn't cast
People are
the
bitching about the
shadows the
flashlight?
right way. No, it doesn't cast shadows right. It's off. It's not casting the shadows.
The futuristic
the way it should.
supernatural flashlight is different. Okay.
No, wait till just rewatch it and watch the shadows. It doesn't really cast shadows. It's weird.
It doesn't cast
it
them or it doesn't
vampires?
cast them right.
'Cause
I need to know.
At times I see some shadows, and at times there's none. There's like zero
Were
shadows.
the shadows of the vampires? Because I don't think they would.
No. I'm talking about the environment.
Can
the
I
Did the
just
vampires show
say-
up in any
where
so-
mirrors?
casting
Or-
shadows.
Listen, I love Greg, but Greg said, I want to see Redfall in daylight. You're hunting vampires, bro.
Yeah.
You're not
yeah.
supposed to be in deadlight. I mean, maybe
Oh
you
my
can go.
gosh!
Yeah,
Somebody
they
said
blocked out the
daylight.
sun.
Who said
I mean, no,
Greg? Greg
like
who?
maybe they block the sun. Greg, E3 egg.
No,
He's
shout out
here
to Greg
all the
E3
time.
Egg, man.
I mean, he's awesome. But yeah,
Maybe
I
that
think
was
you're
a
hunting
joke by him.
vampires.
Yeah.
I hope it was.
Greg,
I mean,
you be
maybe
the best
you can
vampire
hunt.
killer ever. They ain't no vampires around
Maybe-
here.
There's other people like followers that follow vampires and do
Cultists.
their
There's
bidding.
cultists, yeah.
yeah, that do
Yeah.
that. So
Cultists.
maybe you can fight them in the morning.
What about the Familia?
I don't know what that means.
What? You don't know anything about the movie Blade? You can go
Oh my
crawl
God.
into a
Oh, the
toilet.
family. Yeah.
The
One thing I want to
family-
ask you guys though about this game, like you just after watching that deep dive, did you get any sense of the shooting at all? Like, does it look bad to you? Because I don't get any sense of that until I play the game. I won't even know. But a lot of people are like, the shooting looks like it's horrible. And
How
I'm
do you
like,
decide that
how
by
do you
the
get
look?
that?
It's a
How do you
1,000%
come to
the
that
feel.
conclusion?
Yeah. I don't know. Chat, do you think the shooting looks horrible in Redfall? Why are people constantly, the first thing they do when they see something, they're like, this looks like, I don't like the way the nipples point through the shirt. Like, there's something negative every time.
Every time it's Xbox. Every freaking time. There's
Like, I was at a party with Boba, and he's like, I don't like the way I was ball gazing, and everything didn't look right down there. I was wondering what was going on. I don't know.
So
I want Hargy's take on some of this.
Go
Yeah.
Hargy.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Boba
yeah.
didn't
So-
say that.
Yeah, so for Redfall, one thing that's interesting is the aim down sights, but maybe that makes it feel different, and you'd have to figure that. Their games, Arcane games, are different when it comes to shooting, so that could play a little into that, right? So we'll see. They did try to get some of the id folks to help them out. It may not have made that much of a difference. We'll see how it goes. They're also a bit more about the supernatural stuff, right? So that's part and parcel of Arcane games. Um, but yeah, so I don't know if you like ADS, that's going to be something that I didn't, at least I don't see it, right? So you're shooting and you don't like, if you don't know what that is, aim down sights. So you can actually like, go into left trigger or something and you start looking through the guns like sight, right? It doesn't seem to do that. And so, but maybe it does have that in some guns, maybe it doesn't in others. And that might be why you're seeing it being kind of weird in the shooting. So we'll see how that goes. Redfall does look like a lot of fun though. It does have, well, I like Ubisoft games. I don't know if people like Ubisoft games. If you don't
Yeah,
like
I
them,
do
you're probably
too.
not going to like
Yeah.
this piece. But I like the Ubisoft formula. So they have little areas. You're going to clean out the area and open the area to yourself, right? So I kind of like that. Go through and do the area, clean it up, do the missions, and then hopefully it's a good co-op play as well, right? So we'll see how that goes. Like Grounded is a lot of fun co-op. I'm hoping this will be the same. Like you just go through an area and clean it up for that game. It's in Grounded as well. It's kind of their world. It looks like Redfall is going to play the same thing. It's their world. So, but hey, that's still, at least you get the achievements. You get to play through it. So it looks like it's going to be a fun game.
So I want to jump into the shooting thing and what everybody was talking about, like that, like what Hargy was saying, like, yeah, they brought the id tech in there, but this is the first game, like outside of Fortnite, which is third person, that's going to be Unreal Engine 5 as an FPS game. So I'm really looking forward to what it is and what they can do with Unreal Engine 5 and that shooter aspect. To me, the best shooter out there that is Unreal Engine is Gears of War, right? Like that, to me, like it's tight, feels great. Coalition's awesome. That's just in my head. There's not a lot of games out there with Unreal Engine 5. Stalker is another one that is Unreal Engine 5. That's
Say
a
Gears
shooter,
was Unreal 5? Is that what you said?
Unreal Engine 4. So
Yeah.
I'm even going back to 4.
Yeah, okay.
So like 4, to me, the best Unreal Engine shooter is Gears to me, at least just to me. So I want to see what they can do with it, because I get what people are saying. The shooting does look very arcane-y, and that's what it is. And with this one, I want to see how it feels, weight of the guns, all that, because that's what you're doing. You're shooting vampires and having a good time.
Right.
But there's also abilities attached to this stuff, right?
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that those look good. And yeah, I think the game looks awesome. It's my most anticipated game. I'm more anticipated for this one than I am Starfield. I know that's kind of weird, but
Damn.
I enjoy co-op games. I
Yeah,
enjoy
That's
playing with my
'cause you're
friends.
hella weird. That's why.
Oh,
That's
shit.
fine. Hey, I don't sit in hot tubs in games like you do.
He's so scared
But-
without chewing.
Toddler.
No, but I think I'm just looking forward. And Fortnite is Unreal Engine 5, people. They've already transferred it over. So we'll see what happens with this game. I think it's great. I think the deep dive was very well done, especially with Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush, whatever. So I don't know, man. I just want to see this game come out. I want to play with my friends, and it's something I've been looking forward to since like they announced it 2 years ago. Then it got delayed till now.
Yeah.
But Unreal Engine 5, I think it's gonna finally show us what it can do in the FPS front. And then don't be surprised, like, because Unreal Engine 5 is getting a lot of attention. Like maybe the Coalition starts showing something
Perhaps.
during E3, right? To kind of show it's around
Wasn't
that
that a
time
part
where
of
they
the
should.
thing?
I
from,
think-
was it Grub or somebody said that, right? That they're about ready.
I mean,
Coalition's
I
game?
mean, people
Yeah.
are speculating, but like when you look at the timetable, they released a game in 2019, so we're going on, 4 years.
But that
and they can
Matrix demo
announce
took
something.
1,000 days to make,
I mean, that's a lot of time.
I know.
But no, and then 2 years ago, or going on 2 years, they said that they're going to be quiet for a little while. That's a little while. 2 years is a little
It's
while.
a good thing,
time
though.
so they
Like,
can
we don't
talk.
want them to talk too early. You're like, that's what we've been bitching about, is like you're showing the same
Right.
shit for 5 years.
No, exactly.
So maybe just show it when it's ready to be shown, and hopefully that's sooner than later.
Well, that's
but
why it's speculation. Right?
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Zucker, have you played Dead Space?
The new one, no, not yet. I've played all the other ones.
Because
but
Creative
obviously-
Vibes, I just wanted to get this real quick. I figured it was a good segue. Creative Vibes XL in the chat, by the way, he says Dead Space or Callisto Protocol. Never played Dead Space. You got to get Dead Space then. It's a no thought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, you
yeah,
gotta play them.
100%.
I got it installed already, the new one. I just haven't had time, man. Work's been murdering my soul.
You're going to
Dead
be scared
Space
out of your
better-
size sixes.
Dead Space has a better narrative, better combat, better environment, better music, better atmosphere, better everything.
How dare you?
Lower budget.
As listen,
Better.
Go ahead, Tim.
as Hargate was saying, it is rumored that Coalition is working actually on a new IP. Supposedly it's AA, and supposedly it's basically to get them acclimated to the Unreal Engine 5 for Gear 6. So it is something that I think they've been working on for a little bit. So I don't know when we'll see it, but I wouldn't go crazy if you see it and you're like, what the hell is this? The plan, from what I've heard, the whole time was to do a smaller game, get them, to be really proficient at Unreal Engine 5, and then drop the highest fidelity game that goes that for the Unreal Engine 5 moving forward, because they're looked at as like premier Unreal Engine developers, whether that was with 4 or when they helped with Epic, if you remember when they did that that demo.
The Matrix one?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the Matrix.
The Cave, or what was that other one they did? They showed off later.
They did something, but they're supposedly like they're like the top dogs in that, and that's the plan for them. So you're going to see a smaller game from them.
Great. Pentiment Coalition. Nice.
And no, it's not going to be like that. But then you'll
obviously
that's going to transition into Gear 6.
Well,
I mean,
maybe
if we saw a Hi-Fi Rush, like maybe it's something like that. Like, fuck, man, this was like a passion project, right? That's what they said. And this game, to me, is just freaking like in between that AA, AAA. And if it's something like that, like, hell, why not, man? If we get more experiences like this,
it's a
I'm
fun
fucking
game.
down.
It's a fun game. It doesn't matter if it's AA or AAA, right?
What? Pause? What?
No. I like some AA games. Damn it!
Like
I've
what?
talked about them here on the show. A lot of them.
Huh?
Pentiment's fantastic. No, Hi-Fi Rush. I'll say Hi-Fi Rush. I think it's a fun game.
You know what? You know why they call passion projects passion projects? Because it's a nice way of saying, look, we built this thing. We didn't put a ton of money into it. We want to test the fucking market. And if you guys like it and you engage with it a lot, we're going to build a big version of what we just brought you. So you might see a bigger, better Hi-Fi Rush, whatever fuck, 2, or Grounded 2, or whatever, like. That's why they do these types of things. And it's smart, right? You don't get a ton of money in something that you don't know is going to succeed, and you just dip your little toe in the water, and you see that way, I guess. So, Bonds, we're going to play some AA's later, okay? Some AA batteries. Jedi Fallen Survivor, by the way, delayed, Bonzarelli. This is something we very much like the last game, quite a bit. Really good game.
I heard it's delayed till, I believe, April 28th. So almost a month later, right? About a month late.
Yep.
Late. So, that's not a big deal. Again, if you need more time, developers take it,
Unless you said it was going to come out, within a window.
Oh, jeez.
Then it's against the law.
Yeah. People cry more. Okay. If a game gets delayed because they need time to polish it up, let it be. Okay. Let it stay there in the oven. And I know there's many of you out there, because you've commented on my videos. They should just drop Starfield even if it's not ready. They can always just patch it. And I'm like, no, we don't want another situation like Cyberpunk 2077. We want games that are like Hi-Fi Rush. It dropped and there's no bugs. That's the kind of shit we want for AAA. I want to go back to that time. But I don't think we'll ever get back to that time, to be honest, where every AAA comes out and there's no bugs. But I don't know. These games are really advanced now, and
bugs are inevitable. They're kind of inevitable. But you mean game-breaking bugs and like big bugs,
for sure. Yeah. But no, dude, this delay. On one hand, it's like, you got to wait another month, but on the other, it's like, hey, we'll get a better game for it. So I'm excited for the game. Doesn't matter. April, it's not bad. It's actually a better month for me, I think, dropping in April, because we got Wolong in March. And I want to spend some time with that. So
you're talking about Jedi, right?
You're spending a lot of time with the Wolongs.
Can I say, now people are saying that Jedi moved to April to avoid Starfield in March?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It's all adding up, boys. It's happening. It's happening.
Oh god! Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this chat. Let me know. But I'm kind of getting tired of seeing these little apology letters they fucking write out every time something gets delayed. Like, we're so sorry we had to work.
We need more time.
It's like, stop apologizing. Like, it's you don't owe nobody an explanation. Like, just say, hey, the game's not done yet. We're coming out in April. Like, you don't need a fucking big giant list of things and reasons. And Timmy stubbed his toe. He couldn't get to work on Saturday, so that set us back 6 hours. Like, We don't need a long giant apology letter every time.
Whatever studio or like publisher or whatever just puts out one of those letters that just says "fuck off" until April, I will freaking buy every single one of your games if you do that. Whoever's listening, if you guys are just like, you know, the account, like, can you imagine Jedi "fuck off" till April 28th?
Like,
It's like,
it
all
doesn't
right,
even
got
have
it.
to be
It
got
just
it.
says, "Listen here,
It could
bitch," in
just-
big red letters, big
It
words.
could just say we need more fucking time, okay, and that's it. Yeah, and it'd be perfect.
No,
there's-
nobody
there's no
knows.
reason to
That
sit there and
crazy
apologize to
people.
all these crazies out here that are like, but you promised.
Oh shit! We're sorry, bitch. That's what it should say in all red caps. And then under it, just say, "We need more time." You know, April.
May the fuck off till April. May the force be with you. Come on, come on, dude.
Yeah. Well, again, shout out to everyone in the chat, all the channel members, and everybody just chatting about all this stuff. Let us know if you're looking forward to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivors Icicle.
Why didn't they drop it on
Journey.
May 4th?
Yeah,
May
right.
4th.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Wulong.
maybe-
After Redfall, they didn't want to.
Redfall May 2nd.
Redfall
Well,
scared
they're
him
not
away,
scared of
huh?
Redfall. Yeah, they're not scared of Redfall. Come
How
on.
do you know, though? It could be the
Well,
case.
I don't know. Look at Deathloop got 10s, got masterpiece scores. So who knows? Arcane's
May
a legit
May
studio.
4th is Star Wars Day, and I get what you're saying, but a lot of don't like a lot of movies drop. Like, there's a lot of entertainment that time. It's like not good to compete with yourself, which is, you know,
Eh,
what
maybe.
Disney, you know. Like,
Ah,
I
I
don't know.
feel
Fuck 'em.
Don Otaku in the Super Chat says Jedi moved because Peppa Pig was dropping that day. It's coming back to Game Pass.
Peppa Pig 2. Yeah, the DLC. Peppa
Woo.
Pig.
Yeah, a lot of you guys actually played that. Let us know how you feel about that.
Yeah, Risk It. How good was it?
Leave us
Why
get
you
out of
gotta
this.
attack Risk It?
That wasn't an attack. He played it.
He's not in the chat today. He said he'll watch it after the fact. So we'll see.
Never
if he,
played it, never enjoyed it.
You see if he played it and enjoyed it. By the way,
You're so toxic.
we'll not be playing any kind of new Halo for quite a while because 343 has been reset. That's what I'm saying. They're just
Oh,
fucking hit the reset little thing on the Super NES and they just lit the place on fire and said,
It's-
"Look, we got to start over. Something's wrong."
This is exactly what I mentioned a couple of weeks ago on my show. I said, you know, the way they're dealing with Halo now has to completely change for them to succeed with Halo. And they're resetting it. They're
Yeah.
changing things, and they're even changing. They're getting rid of the slip space engine. That's,
Yeah.
you know,
Not
look,
confirmed yet, but they are definitely. And we got a ton of information on this.
yeah, but I really think that, you know, this is a good thing
Yeah, me too.
for Halo. So
Can I jump-
go ahead and
Zachary,
jump
there's a
in
lot of bullet points here if you want to grab these.
Yeah,
while I
yeah,
take
yeah.
this.
Yeah, hold on. I was looking at the Reddit bullet points too, but I'll bring up the ones that we have marked down. Give me 2 seconds. So we have where the fuck thing. Okay, so 343 reset, 343 Industries Game Studio Spotlight update. Co-developed Project Tatanka, the multiplayer with certain affinity to run on Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine being explored for future Halo titles. Workforce reduction by 95 employees, if not more. And then there's a studio reset. Jez heard that there was a Forge port to Unreal, possibly. Last Tatanka update on Slipspace was almost 2 months ago. And this is what I have from Reddit that posted from Bloomberg. So 95 people were laid off. It fell in mid-January, and then Microsoft amassed a bunch of other layoffs across, you know, Microsoft in general. And they've basically got rid of dozens of veterans, including top directors and contractors upon which the studio heavily relies on. Those temporary employees were given just a few days warning before their contracts came to an end, according to people familiar with the process, asking not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak publicly. Now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. 343 will continue to develop Halo. Internally, Booty has assured 343 staff that even as they work with outside partners and outsourcing houses, they will remain in charge. But questions remain, however, about the fate of the Halo franchise as the studio is hollowed out and makes big changes to how it develops its games. Now we're switching over to Unreal Engine 5. At several points over the last decade, management at 343 debated switching to Epic Games Inc. population, which is Unreal Engine. But it wasn't until late last year when previous studio head Bonnie Ross and engine lead David Berger departed and Pierre Hines took over that the firm finally decided to move to or pivot towards Unreal. The Switch will start with a new game code named Tatanka, according to people familiar with the plans. That project, which 343 is developing alongside the Austin, Texas-based game studio Certain Affinity, started off as a battle royale, but may evolve in different directions that people have said. Future games in the series will also explore using the Unreal Engine, which may make development easier, although internal skeptics are worried that the Switch may have a negative impact on the way Halo games feel to play, which is something that we even talked about earlier. What a fucking segue about Unreal Engine 5 and the shooters that are associated with it.
Yeah.
So
Here's
that's
what's
all the
interesting
information.
about that is they coined Slip Space Engine, even though it's really just part of something that already exists, right? Like a lot of things are. And they said that the big thing with Slip Space was that it looks nothing like you saw in the first demo. Now, what they really actually said was that it's a lot easier to work with. They can build things a lot faster. That was the problem with Halo 5's version of the engine, was that it took forever to do things. And the guy that was behind the engine or the lead on it left, right? Which means there was some big problems there. They were probably feuding for quite a while about that engine. And it looks like sanity won out. And I think no matter what, this is going to be a good thing because Slip Space it's been nothing but negative things we've heard around it. And it doesn't really make sense to run Halo games off of it when you got a lot more people that are versed in Unreal. It's not a bespoke proprietary engine. So this could be a good thing. And I think a lot of people internally at 343 are probably highly happy about this. I think Bloomberg are using words like hollowed out. The studio's not hollowed out. That's like a fraction of its workforce. But they did replace or get rid of a lot of things or people, that probably move positions, stuff like that. I think it's a good thing. I mean, shout out to everybody out there who did ask for them to take some kind of action and do something, because it was pretty clear that if a modder can build maps in a day and you can have it out there in Forge and play it that day, then 343 can't build something in a year or 2 years. They had 2 maps.
Yeah.
There's something fucking wrong, right? So they're doing the right thing here, in my opinion. It's going to take a while for you to get probably anything substantial, but it's no different from the last iteration. Halo Infinite took 7 years, right?
And I will say moving to Unreal Engine is actually it is a good thing because, like we've said before, and like I've said on here just now, they're going to work with the Coalition on this shit. Like the Coalition has the in on Unreal Engine. They're the goddamn wizards. So
It's like,
they'll
how do
probably
you make
talk
people
to them.
move in Unreal Engine?
Dude, I'm just saying, like they're going to work with them because, like I said, Gears is the best shooter on Unreal to me. And so they can work together and be like, how do we do this in, first person and work together on it? The technical people that drive at the Coalition are freaking awesome. Like we talk about Turn 10, but Coalition to me is up there with them. They get a lot out of the fucking hardware.
For how long they've been around, they do seem to get up to speed on all that really quick because they're one of their youngest studios.
Yeah, they are. And they just get shit done. Like that's just what it is. And so I don't know. I think that we've been talking about needing a reset, and this is awesome that it's happening. It sucks that it's happening in these circumstances, right? Where Halo Infinite has kind of faltered a lot, but it is what it is.
You popped a vision in my mind of like everybody at 343 is hella old, and they forget like why they walked into the room. They're like, "Why did I come in here?
What were we working on again?"
Back in my day.
I'm just excited for the big change. Like the slips. What's it called? Slipstream, Slip Space, whatever.
The Piss Stream engine, yeah.
Whatever they're using. It was okay. Like when they initially showed it, it looked better than it actually turned out to be honest with you. I think that's what's missing with Halo right now. I think the gameplay is pretty good. Like I enjoyed the campaign, but like that visual, it just doesn't grab you visually. It just doesn't seem like it's up to date with the graphics. And I think Unreal Engine 5, I think that will make them relevant again, that game at least. Unreal Engine 5, in the next couple of years, you guys are going to see, it's going to take over the industry. We're going to see some amazing stuff. I'm already starting to see some amazing stuff with Unreal Engine 5. And I think this is a step in the right direction. I think this is what they needed to at least excite people about Halo again. So I'm excited about this. I think it's good.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Hectic World member for 30 months. He says, please don't lose the feel that you get from the Blam engine. Halo's the feel you can't copy. I used to think Halo Infinite felt phenomenal, right? When I was reviewing the game, playing it before it was out, everything. And I continued to play it after it came out. And then I played Call of Duty, even Vanguard, I thought felt a lot better. And I'm not lying. Like, I thought that going back to Halo Infinite was hard after playing a lot of Call of Duty because Battlefield just died this generation, or the past generation, really. So, I don't know. Halo felt great at the time, but if you're playing something like Modern Warfare 2, as long as you got all the dead zone options, which I have in Halo, but they're just weird. They're harder. It's harder to get things to feel how I want to in Halo, or at least better in Halo than it was in Call of Duty. It was very, very quick. So I don't know. I think COD is the best feeling shooter. Myself personally on a controller.
I think I think
they're gonna own them.
anything using the Source engine. I think Apex Legends feels fucking amazing. I think Counter-Strike feels amazing, and I do think COD feels amazing because it is like an offshoot of it. But yeah, Halo, like I do enjoy the feel of the shooter. I do enjoy it, but at the end of the day, they need to do something different. So we'll see what happens with the Unreal Engine 5. But to me, Apex Legends is like the top shooter for me. I just enjoy the way it feels competitively.
What is with Dreadpool's comments? Did you see that?
Dude, he said Zalker, fuck off until April. Like he said, now buy my merch. Like
Dreadpool.
And then he
always-
I'll take 5.
COD has always traditionally been heralded as the best first-person shooter, first-person shooter anyway.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they're not using id when they have it, or waiting till COD is around. Like maybe they are. Maybe we don't know like the full scale of this. But
Right.
if they get ABK using that COD engine, and how many developers they get that know how to use that engine, it might be a better plan than even using UE5.
You know, for me, when I saw the news today, I think that it makes a lot of sense. They kind of reset the button, and I think Dealer said it. This is what many people were asking for. I mean, the layoffs suck. We all know that, but there was definitely a problem there. After the launch of Halo Infinite, the campaign was great, but we were all scratching our heads for a year. What's going on here? So obviously there was a problem. I think now it's Peter Hines. They're very high on him. It's his show. As far as single player campaign, I do think that that's something that they're tackling, but they're gonna tackle one thing at a time. And right now it's the multiplayer. Listen, it's gonna take time, so it's not the end of the world. It's gonna be a new start. The 10-year thing is thrown out the window. I had heard that Endless was, I had somebody working on the thing that they even stopped calling him. So. That's done. So that whole plan is probably changed. And as far as talking about Coalition and their prowess, they're one team that actually announced the game. They announced that they bought the IP and they were moving ahead in Gears 4, I believe. And they made the game in approximately 3 years, or a little under 3 years. In today's day and age, that's extremely impressive. So these games are now taking 4 to 6 years, with the latter being, the most, most of the time getting done in 6 years. So, I'm just glad that they didn't shutter the studio down, and that would have been the real bad thing. They're still looking to make Halo relevant, back to where it is. Will it ever get back to that? I don't know. It's definitely taken its hits over the years, and it's not, in the standard of where you would think it would be. People were saying it was the mascot. Now they're talking about Chai as the mascot. You know what I mean? So, it has to build itself back up. But I think Pierre is actually going to do a good job. It's just going to take time.
Bud the Cyborg says, part of the 10-year plan. Hey, I don't think he meant it like that, but that's how I took it. Subsurface Gaming says he messaged me on Xbox. Man, send me another one. It probably got buried, man. And also, we do have we got some.
So, Dealer, there's a survey. I don't know if you had that in your thing there, but there was a survey sent out to some players of Halo as to where they think 343 is. So things like, do they
Was the option
trust
on fire
343?
there?
No, I mean seriously. Like, do you think Halo's on the right track? Do you trust 343? Do you trust the delivery? They asked what modes you would be looking for. Things like infection, firefight, assault, extraction, breakout, dominion, juggernaut, invasion, flood. They're actually asking some of the players, what do you want? So just another thing that's kind of interesting.
They're asking if they
they're
trust
really
343.
taking user feedback. Who would have?
Yeah, literally.
Easy.
So that means, like, do you trust 343? And if they said no, they're like, maybe we hand it off to
no, seriously.
to
They
Crackdown
literally
developer.
asked that. Do you want somebody else? Like, they asked that. Like, do you trust 343 with Halo? Like, what the heck, right? Like, they're really just going all out asking.
I should ask Hidden Xperia what he
It's an interesting
selected.
fact.
Where did
But,
this
but
survey
yeah.
go? Like, how did?
I think it's
people-
just some of the players that have played it. I don't know if it's there must
Gotcha.
be some randomness to it, but
Gotcha.
They
somebody
probably
had
siphoned
put it
through
on
the
Twitter,
people that
these
played
were the
it the
survey
most.
pages.
Great, give it to the people that play it the most. Are like,
Well,
no,
no,
we
just
love
like
it.
those
Yeah.
people are probably talking about it, and then they usually with stuff like this, when you want user feedback, you have like different stages. People that play it the most, people that play it like moderately, and then the people that come back every once in a while, and you ask those questions to those people.
Yeah, and I think
And
this
what
Halo's
everybody-
Are you done with Halo?
Halo's like kind of a rare situation where a lot of the hardcore guys are actually like actually being legitimately honest about the game and how they feel about it at this point, because there's even the worst damage controller for the most part. There's some people that we could name for the most part, even the worst damage controller, most of them are saying, yeah, something's really wrong here, right?
Yep. It's true.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
There was an article by Forbes. I just want to rattle this off real quick. And just so people know about the 343 thing, Phil Spencer did do an interview addressing concerns about the future of 343 and basically said what we said. Just,
we done fucked up.
Oops. That's what he said. But PlayStation VR 2 is the wrong device at the wrong price at the wrong time, according to Forbes. Are they shitting on this thing like that hard already, D-Batch, or what's going on with that? D-Batch is the most talented. I want everyone to know that.
Talented.
Tesla Speaks is in here right now.
Sorry. Ask me again. I'm sorry.
PlayStation, I swear to God. All right.
Oh yeah.
So Forbes
Okay.
is saying it's a piece of shit. What do you think?
You talk about Major
the
League Baseball,
PSVR
right?
2.
Oh,
PSVR 2.
PSVR 2.
Major League
Okay.
Baseball.
Major League
Baseball.
Baseball.
Major League Baseball.
Yeah, no, the PSVR 2. I don't even know what to believe on this, because I'm looking at the stocks and it's in stock pretty much everywhere. You can still pre-order it, so it's not flying off the shelf. So it kind of leads to
Major
some
League
of this
Baseball.
rumored-
Go ahead.
it kind of sorry.
Fuck.
It kind of leads to some of this being true, because it's not flying off the shelf. There's lots available. The price tag is too high, and I think they
How
made
much
a
is
big
it?
mistake. In Canada, it's like, I don't know, $800. So I don't know how much it is in the
$549 in
States.
US.
How
So
much was
is the
PSVR
console?
1? Was it 400?
400. I
That's
believe.
quite the price hike.
I mean, I'm one of the people that pre-ordered PSVR 2.
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered as well. And I think the technology
I'm
is
joking.
fantastic.
I don't have it.
I have it pre-ordered, and I think the technology inside of it is good for the price. However, it's not going to appeal to everybody. It is still pretty expensive. It's not wireless, which I think is a big knock on it.
You don't like
the
to have the
biggest thing-
electric octopus on your head?
Nah, man, I like it better wireless, or at least have some type of transmitter where you can, you have an option. You don't have
Yeah.
an option with the PSVR.
So you're saying they came out with it too soon. They needed to get the technology refined more, and it's too damn
and
expensive.
the price, and also not enabling it on PC. That was a huge
That's the
mistake.
number one.
If
right
they
there.
enabled this on PC, I think it would have been sold out. But they're being stubborn here, and I don't understand. You can make this available for PC. It'll work on your PlayStation 5. You can release your PlayStation games on PC, so it'll work with the headset.
did they
and
say it
also
won't work?
allow it to work with other games.
They said it won't work on PC.
No, they're just not enabling it, so it's software locked. It's the hardware's fine.
Well,
It
that'll
can work
change.
on PC.
Yeah, they'll be able to get around that on PC.
I think someone eventually will get around it, but just the fact it doesn't have native support is
Yeah.
going to put off some people that would have bought it on PC. So they made a lot of mistakes on this, and this is Sony once again being Sony and just being out of touch, and they're high on their own supply.
Well, they also said, like, this is the report, is that basically they cut supply on it because the reception hasn't been as great as they thought it was going to be.
It
So
smells
the
like
pre-orders
shit.
aren't high. So basically we're just not making as many as we thought we were going to make. And then a report came out later after IGN reported this that Sony came out and was like, "That's a fucking
Yeah,
lie."
Yeah,
They
that's what
said
I'm
that's a
saying.
lie, basically. So
Which thing was a
who
lie?
knows what's happening?
Major League Baseball?
them cutting production.
But we all know that Sony
Yes.
lies.
strike, you're out, bitch.
Sony lies, and we're going to get to those lies later on in the
say,
show.
hey.
They
They're
lie.
not gonna say, hey. But I don't think it's pretty obvious where you could the litmus test here is that people think it's too expensive. We're in a bad economy. It's more money and does not work standalone, and the competition has a wireless headset that's cheaper. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not in a good position, and I kind of tend to believe the original report by, I think it was Bloomberg actually, that they cut it in half from 2 million to 1 million units.
I believe it.
I believe that too. I think Sony's just not going to come out there and say,
And
"Hey, yeah, our product's not doing well." But just look, nobody really. I mean, listen, you get people that argue with you, but nobody's really ever talking about PSVR or
Mhm.
VR.
No, and
Really,
Well,
There's a
so
guy in the
let's-
chat said, I didn't even know there was a PSVR 2.
So let's
Also,
so
just add real quick, they've also made another mistake releasing their new controller so close to the PSVR as well. And that new controller is not cheap.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing, man.
Why is that thing so expensive? Because the battery life is still dog shit, apparently.
Yeah, so I'm testing it out. So far I'm past the 4-hour mark and it hasn't died on
Did
me yet.
the
so
lights
I
start
gotta do-
blinking
I
and shit
got-
on it yet?
I got not yet, but I got to do more testing on it because admittedly I don't play enough games on my PlayStation. I tried to hook it up to the PC. The PC detected it and says it's paired and it's connected, but it doesn't work in any games. So
Get
I
the
don't
USB
know.
out?
I'm gonna probably have to use the USB on it. It's not working wirelessly on the PC. Like it's a nice controller. If it feels premium, I don't want to sit there and say it feels cheap. It doesn't. But the
It better?
price tag and
How much was it,
I guess it
D-Match?
is.
How much was it?
For me, it was 300 Canadian, which is
Jeez.
freaking a lot. Yeah, it is better than the original. Yes, it's definitely better. In all areas, it's better. But the battery, except for the battery, sorry, but the battery is not better. And for me, that's where it lies for me. It's like, why am I going to pay extra money on this controller when it dies a lot quicker than the original controller? I'm just trying to justify keeping this, but I'm going to continue to test it. But right now, it's not looking good for me keeping it, to be honest.
So I want to jump on so PSVR, the first one sold like 5.5 million units, like the whole thing, like in its.
Are we
lifetime
talking
so
about
far.
Chat GPT?
So I think that's pretty cool. But this new one, the problem is like it's not just the 550, right? Like then you got to buy a PS5, so you're looking at dropping $1,200 to even get the thing, and then however much it is to buy a game with it.
yeah.
So like it is such a massive like investment for a gamer to even play this damn
Or the
thing or
games that
check
will
it
even
out.
work with it, right?
Like,
and
and I will say like the biggest thing is the PC thing. Like if you look at Reddit, if you read everything, people that love VR and play some VR games like Half-Life Alyx have said like, damn, this is stupid. Why isn't it PC compatible? Like that would have been huge. But the big thing is that their launch, like the games they have for their launch are not that
Mid.
bad.
You just said
Like,
it yourself.
no.
Like the game you referenced first is fucking years old. Like this is the only
No,
thing
no,
you
no.
got.
Like the Horizon, the new Horizon one that's coming out, right? Like that's a launch title. Like a lot of the stuff they're bringing out at launch, I'm like, all right, as somebody that's never had a VR system and never played VR games, I've played them through friends, but I don't own them. I was like, oh, I would buy some of these to check it out. But at the end of the day, am I going to really drop $1,200 and then plus more for games on top of that?
Yeah.
Like it's
I-
just
I-
not. It's just so.
I
stupid.
gotta say about the launch titles for me personally, and I pre-ordered it. I'm looking forward to it. They're kind of mid, to be honest with you. The only ones that I'm looking forward to is playing Gran Turismo
And
with a
blowjobs.
proper VR headset and
Horizon?
call it Horizon Call of the Mountain. Those are the only two games that I'm looking
Well,
forward to. They have
the
some other
Walking
games
Dead
on
one,
there, but
Cameo or
Saints-
Demeo?
Cameo said like
I
not-
love VR.
I've already played that on PC. So like
Yeah.
it's.
Let me
not
ask you this,
something new
D-Batch.
to me.
Did you play MLB The Show?
No,
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Did
I'm serious. Did you play MLB The Show 22?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Good, because the 23, the
23 's
next
coming.
one comes out on Game Pass in March. How you feel about that?
Listen, that is phenomenal. First of all, for all the people saying that Game Pass is not successful,
Oh,
I can't even
God.
speak
Here
today.
we go.
Not successful. Why is it on there 3 years in a row or the second year in a row, whatever?
They
that it's
like
on
it.
there, first of
because
all.
they paid them money. What do you mean why?
Number
Wait,
two.
wait.
I saw somebody in my comment section on Twitter. I comment on this, and they're like, "Oh, well, doesn't matter because this is not Sony doing this is MLB. It's their deal." I'm like, okay, so Sony makes a game. You're telling me that Sony can't put their game in PlayStation Premium day and date? Like, make it make sense. Like, they're not going to put it in their service day and date.
They don't want
like,
to.
Game Pass once again. Fucking awesome. You're getting Sony games day
Dude,
and
think
date
about that,
they
D.
don't even offer on their platform.
We're getting MLB in Game Pass in March.
Yay.
We're getting Wo Long in March and Starfield in March.
Ah, shit.
Crazy.
Well, no, but we're gonna get
And
Ghostwire Tokyo in March.
Ghostfield and Ghostwire.
Yeah,
And
Ghostwire's coming up
Ghostwire in March. Holy crap, guys.
Yeah.
So
Xbox
March
got no
was-
games.
So D, would you pay more if they had a PC version? Because do you think that the PSVR 2 is actually at cost?
Oh, God, we're on
Or they're
VR again?
subsidizing?
No,
Well, I
the,
was just
the PS,
asking that question.
Yeah, that's a
the
good question.
PSVR 2, I
Yep.
think they're definitely selling it at a loss.
And I
There's
think
a
that's
lot
why
of there's a
they
lot of
gimped
tech
it,
in there.
but won't work on PC, right? Because they have to make that up with game sales.
I think they will
Yeah,
right?
allow
but
it eventually,
This
probably.
is
but
about
Yeah.
they could bring their games to PC. Okay, you know how they don't want to do their games day and date? They could do their VR games day and date on PC, and it wouldn't go. Nobody would care. Like on the PlayStation side, the fanboys, they wouldn't care so much. So
Yeah,
they
but
could
they just
release
gotta
their
make-
games
so
day and date.
If they give you an
They could
enablement,
make a
and said,
deal
pay
with Steam or
$200,
something.
They're
to
doing
enable
it anyway, D. They already said all their
Yeah.
multiplayer shit's going to PC day and date or
Yeah,
whatever. It's just
exactly.
step
Like-
1 of 5. You know, I mean, we'll get there. But
It's like they don't like money.
yeah, they don't. Microsoft
Never
likes
played it,
money though.
never
That's
enjoyed it.
Microsoft likes money though. That's why they officially raised the price in Japan. Because
didn't they
they're
do that
they're
a
doing so
couple years
good
ago
there.
too, or a year ago as well. I thought they did that before too.
They said, "Fuck all yeah," and they just raised the price again.
You don't want to buy it? Fine, we'll charge even
Yeah,
more.
you
there.
can't afford it. You can't afford it anyway. You know, like,
Logic.
that's what they're doing. They're coating them in
Interestingly,
gold.
it's still cheaper than the U.S.
They're gold plating them
Right?
over
Still
there, and
under
they're selling them for real high prices, and that's why there are no Xboxes over there. Hargeet, there's a Xbox ABK section here, with everything that's kind of happened
my
since
God,
the
yeah.
last time.
Oh boy.
That
Crazy. Man.
this shouldn't be a long topic. But again, I did want to throw it to Hargeet here because he loves it, and he said they just don't get to talk about it enough. So I figured I'd let
Right.
him read the bullet points and stuff.
Yeah, sure. So the first fun one, of course, is Frank Shaw from Microsoft. Puts out a nice little tweet saying that PlayStation is out talking to the EU regulators, lying.
Did he spell it like? Did he spell
LYIN.
Lion.
Yeah, that's it. Lion.
Jim Ryan's totally getting his name correct here. Lion. Jim Ryan is talking to the EU. So essentially, he's saying that they are looking for parity and saying that Xbox is not offering parity, and they're like, no, we totally are offering parity.
For
we've
10
been
years.
Clear. We've offered Sony a 10-year deal to give them parity on timing, content, features, quality, playability, and any other aspect of the game. So that apparently isn't enough. I mean, the real thing is like the parity. What they want is not having Game Pass. Like that's the obvious thing, right?
Right.
So, and because they absolutely hate the fact that they might have to, give more to their consumers and not rape them for billions of dollars. Is that an okay word to
No,
say?
it's probably not the best word you could have used, Hargeet. But go ahead.
Rake them over the coals for
There you go.
billions of dollars. They don't like the idea of giving more to their customers and putting their games in their equivalent to Game Pass with PlayStation Plus Premium. And COD going into Game Pass ends that discussion. It's over at that point. They can't say that quality games can't go into Game
So you're
Pass.
thinking that they're
'Cause
hung up
biggest
on the
game that
Game
they
Pass?
themselves. Yeah, because they themselves have
100%.
put out into the open that they think there's only one game in the world that matters, and that's Call of Duty.
And they'll die
right?
without
So,
it.
Huh?
So it
Yeah.
is what it is. And once that goes into Game Pass, they have no choice but to compete with that. So it is what it is, right? So they're gonna lie, and
Agree to
they're-
nothing.
And now Microsoft,
Yeah,
they're saying it out loud. They're saying it publicly. Sony lied to the regulators about all
Yep.
all of our plans, the sinister
Well, I
plans.
mean, they can be sued if they're wrong, right? So there's got to be some truth to this. So, or there's nuance to the way
Yeah, a lot of
they're saying
nuance,
it,
I'm guessing.
right? So,
When,
but yeah, it's an interesting thing to say.
Tim Doug.
yeah, when the head of the communications comes out and tweets that, right after the objections go in, basically that tells me that the answer that they got kickback is that Sony's not playing fairly here, or they're not. Listen, Sony's not going to agree to anything. They just want to kill the deal, and
Or
they're
delay it.
all out, or delay it. But they ultimately just want it dead. They do not want Xbox anywhere near the franchise. They want to keep their marketing deal or renew a marketing deal. This was a big This was a big deal in 2015 when, if you guys remember, when they got the Call of Duty. That was the year they were sparse in games, and they basically had marketing deals that, in fact, was pushed by Sony fanboys and media, and it was completely okay for them to be sparse in games. That's Jim. That's whoever the head of the. I think it was the other guy before him. Whatever, he had said that and used that word, and they actually outsold Xbox, which had Tomb Raider, and what other? They had two other exclusives.
Rising? No.
No, they
that's
had Tomb Raider. It was 2015, I believe. They had Tomb Raider. They had like Gears Ultimate,
Forza
there was
6.
Forza, and they destroyed Xbox basically, and then moving on forward, that was a very lucrative deal, and they don't want they don't want Xbox anywhere near the deal, and they might win. That's the sad thing, because it's definitely there's going to be objections from EU. CMA is a wild card. FTC is already filing complaints, and it looks like they want to go through August. So I guess we'll find out where it's going, but their strategy is basically to kill the deal, that they do not want Xbox anywhere near it. They do not want it on Game Pass. They know that Xbox is offering them parity. They're offering them 10-year deal. They're offering them the ability to even actually put it on PS Plus if they pay it. But they want status quo. And for a market leader with the lead that they have, and the amount of power that they have to be doing this is comical. I do think it'll lose it in a court of law.
So does Phil.
Yep.
Yeah, and so does Phil. So I just think it's going to go that route. And just don't get hung up on it like we all did last year, or like a lot of people did. Just wait for it to happen, because this is because I got pissed off when I saw Frank's tweets. I'm like, why is the head of communications airing out laundry like this?
You were mad about it?
Just because I was mad, what
I'd have been under there, like, yeah, Frank, get him.
No, I understand what Frank was doing, but I felt like it was like a reaction to something that was more underlying. And basically, I talked to a few people, and they walked me off the ledge. And they said, basically, Tim, this is a whole entire process. So this is just part of the whole thing. So nothing's going to happen on a snap of a finger. Everything is going to be drawn out. Everything's going to go to court. Everything's going to,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a stupid drawn out process that, could take another whole year.
Yeah.
And I also think it does shape the way this year goes for Xbox, because if they get the deal done, that opens a large variety of what they can do, and possibly placement of the game, stuff like that. But if they don't get the deal done, then possibly like they were saying, you could drop Hellblade in the holiday. You have that option.
Even without the deal, like they've already got 40 teams working on games, right? They've already got all these studios. They've got a shit ton of stuff. Even without the deal, let's say it never even goes through. Who cares? Like at the end of the day, they got so much stuff. But Phil did say that he's more confident in this whole process after talking or working with regulatory boards and having conversations with those guys. He is more confident about the Activision deal going through.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because the lies from Sony are becoming ever so more transparent. So, and once you can prove these, it makes all of the arguments invalid. And like, if you just look at it from an objective standpoint, you can really see what Sony's trying to do here, especially when they've been offered everything that they've asked for, and still it's not enough. Like, I want a brand new car. Okay, here it is. I want it in red. Okay, here it is. I want like 4x4 tires. No problem. All-wheel drive. No problem. It's like, what's going on? Like, come on. It's obvious here.
Tim, what are you yelling at in the background? Do you want a car too?
I want a leather.
Look under your chair. Look under your chair. You get a chair, and you get a car, and you get a car.
They're not being realistic. They're just basically, and they're gonna do that. And that, that's why I kind of like what else do you expect them to do? They're gonna just try to kill the deal with it, however which way. So shouldn't be that much of a surprise to Frank, in my opinion. But I guess he's like somebody said, he's playing the war of public opinion.
Well, I want to play the war of less in the show, and Fonz didn't have nothing to add. He's chewing his toenails, but again, we've kind of all said it before and over. Hopefully, this stuff goes through quicker than not, and we're looking forward to everything that comes out of there. As long as Sony are at least exposed for lying their asses off, which is very, very obvious, and that's why Phil's more and more confident as time goes. But let us know your thoughts. We're gonna do some outros after we get these chats here, and again, appreciate you guys stopping by. About 1,200 tonight. For some reason, thanks for tuning in, and hit the like button. Let us know your thoughts as well, because we got probably the best chat in the universe. I would say I've been all around the universe. How can you say the best chat in the universe, right?
Yep, I agree.
At least the galaxy.
At least, maybe bigger. Who knows?
Who knows?
But what's bigger than the galaxy? So we got Dub, member for 20 months. He says, hope with these changes 343 can pull through despite the layoffs. I hate seeing the whole studio being blamed for the decisions of a management. Yep. We got Mike. He says, building
Fred
a
the
live
janitor ran our
game.
studio into the ground.
Thanks, Fred. We got Mike. Building a live service game on Unreal and having a pay royalties on all microtransactions makes no sense. The problems with Halo goes beyond the slipspace engine, which has turned into a scapegoat.
No, we didn't say it was just the engine, right? But that is definitely, obviously, one of the main problems for content production. And they just proved it to you by giving you 2 maps in over a year.
We got Chris R. Says, I'm cool with Halo having some pretty big changes. As far as engine and all that, I just have no interest in a story reboot. I'm down for anything they want to do with the changing it up because it needs it. We got Danny Passion Official. Good to see Dealer back making videos.
Appreciate you, Danny, and everybody who watched it.
You brought one out. I thought your shit got hacked.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I thought it was
Dealer.
Tesla Speaks.
I thought it was too. I was like, D got hacked.
It would have
Dealer
been
got
better
hacked.
if it was.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God. We got Nano Polymath rectifying the demonetization.
Yeah, because of my slip up.
Oh,
Got
God.
God damn it.
Don't worry about it. We never
Yeah,
shied away. We never
Cold.
shied away from saying anything on the show. But Hargeet's he's new. He didn't know what to do. No,
You
shut
leave Hargeet out
It's
of
not a
this.
big deal. It's not a big deal. Thanks, Dano.
And that's everything.
And new channel member.
I said that.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to you.
I said Killinitis. Yeah.
Illinitis. That's a cool name, depending on where you're at and what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We're out.
We didn't even
Sorry,
do
Fonz is
outros.
eating his toenails.
Yeah.
We
I
didn't
was
even do
eating my
outros.
toenails. No,